Hare Krishna. So let's join in for Mangalacharan. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanajanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yudhapad Shri Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancha Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kirpa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna everyone. So good to have you all. Hare Krishna. Right. Krish Chaitanya, would you like to do Narasimha Dev Sarthi?
Yes.
Hey, boy. Let's go for it, please.
Namaste Narasingaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Aladala Dadayini.
Prahlad-lad-daine.
Hiranyakashipu Raksaha.
Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha.
Shilatanakalaye.
Shilakankanakalaye.
Hito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha.
Yato Yami Tato Narsimha.
Yato Yami Tato Narasimha.
Hiranyaka no Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha.
Yato Yami Tato Narsimha.
Yato Yami Tato Narasimha.
Bahir Narsimha Hidraye Narsimha.
He Narsimha, Hirade Narsimha.
Narsimhadim Sharanam Prapate.
Narsimhadim Sharanam Prapade.
Tava Kara Kamalavare Naka Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadreta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Hey Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare
Tab kar kamal vare nagam vidud ganga Haridai ranya kashipu tanu bringa.
Keshavade, no, I mean, Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev.
Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya Prahlad Narasimha, Jaya Prahlad Narasimha, Jaya Prahlad Narasimha, Jaya Prahlad Narasimha.
Prahlad Narasimha, Prahlad Narasimha, Prahlad Narasimha, Jaya Prahlad Narasimha.
Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha.
Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. नरसिम्हदेव की जय, भक्त महाराज प्रहलाद की जय, जय जय श्री राधे श्याम, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव महाराज की जय, भक्त वृंद की जय, जय जय श्री राधे श्याम. Thank you so much, Krishna Chaitanya. That was really nice. Thank you so much. It's been a while, and hope we know that. Do we know a festival is approaching soon? There is a festival coming very soon, within 10 days. It's called Narsim Chaturthi. So if you follow the lunar calendar, which is Indian calendar, so the current calendar we follow is called Georgian calendar. That's like Western calendar based on Christianity, based on the sunshine. But the calendar we use in India for the festivals is not only for the festival, but for all the rites and rituals. That's lunar calendar because it's based on moon. And moon does waning and waxing, which is moon disappears gradually, wanes. It says waxing and waning. So there is a full moon night when you will see the full moon, and from that day, slowly, gradually, it will go, it will disappear. It will go small, 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 until there will be no moon night. So from full moon night to no moon night. And anyone knows how many days it takes between full moon to no moon? Okay, go on.
15 days.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so Aryan said 15 days. That's right. 2 weeks time, what we call fortnightly, from full moon to no moon. And then what happens after that? Again, gradually it increases. So first gradually it decreases, and then gradually it increases, and it keeps doing it. So that's why the Now in Georgian calendar, we have 31 days and sometimes 30 days, and alternatively it fluctuates. In lunar calendar, we always have 30 days. And well, there is after three, like we have leap year, something similar happens there as well. And we get the whole month. In leap year, we get one day extra, 29th of February. But in Indian calendar, we get the whole month, and we call that Adhik Mas. Adhik is additional, extra, and Mas is month. And that's also called Purushottam. And chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, that's the name of that chapter, is Purushottam month. Well, Purushottam itself, and we recite the verses of chapter 15 there. All right, okay. So the festival which is coming, which I didn't mention, Narsingh Chaturthi, I did mention, but Narsingh Chaturthi is the 4. So when we start day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 4 is Chaturthi. When we say Radha Ashtami, Krishna Ashtami, then it's the 8th day as per the lunar calendar, based on which month it is. So now when the days will start again, then the 4th day will be Narsimha Chaturthi, and that's on the appearance day of Narsimha Dev. Anyone knows who was? Well, I'm sure few of you definitely knows who Narsimha Dev was, but at some point maybe it's a good idea to do a quick presentation on Narsimha Dev as well. Oh, horrible, very nice. And we go Jay as well today. So let me go to Adi, and maybe after Adi, I will request Jay to do Hare Krishna Mahamantra as well, if Jay would like to do it. Adi, would you like to do Hare Krishna Mahamantra, please? 3 times, please. Okay, Adi is saying yes. Adi is taking care of him.
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
yeah. Hare Krishna, can I do it?
Jai, because I wasn't sure, so let Adi do it. And meanwhile, if you would like to get ready, I have a kartal, but if you like to grab your kartal, because I know you're very good with the kartals and with your chanting, so it will be really good to hear. But let's give the chance to Adi first, because Adi has been desperately waiting for it, and then we come to you, Adi.
Okay.
Hope that's okay. Hari.
Prabhuji, it's okay. He can go first.
Oh, so nice and kind of you. Okay, well, that's what we call Vaishnav etiquettes. Vaishnavs, the devotees, we always give chance to others. So, well, I hope Jay will say the same. Jay has already said that. So, Adi, thank you so much. But let's begin. Otherwise, there is a story that there were 2 polite people, and they were there standing next to the train, the gates of the train, and every one of them was saying, you first, you first. So the first one said to the second, you first. Second one said to the first one, you first. First one said, no, 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 you first. Second one said, no, 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 you first. They kept saying it, and the train went away. So we don't want to do that. No, but thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to have all of you. Great. So Adi, may I request you to start, and Jay will follow, if that's okay?
Okay.
If you do 3 times, please, and then we will go to Jai. Jai will do 3 times as well. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Adi. Jai, would you like to chant for us?
Yes. Should I start?
Yes, please. Go for it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One more.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, please, Jai.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Jai. Thank you so very much. And thank you, Adi. Thank you, Krishna Chaitanya. So good to have you. Any other devotee who would like to chant 3 times before we go any further?
Can I do it, Prabhuji?
Adi?
Yeah.
Adi, you did it. You want to do it again?
Yes.
Haribol. Go for it, Adi.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Adi. And it's such a pleasure to be in your association, Adi, because it says the faith in the holy name comes from the faith, and the taste in the holy name comes after many, many, many births. So certainly you have been chanting, you have been a devotee in your previous birth, that in this birth you have the taste for it. Otherwise, I'm sure a lot of the devotees, if you think, especially if they have the taste for what we call jnana, the knowledge, then they say, oh well, they just wait when the kirtan will be finished, and then when we will start for the knowledge part of it. But the whole knowledge is to get the taste in the holy name. If you have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't get the taste, then it's not beneficial as well. It's like you got all the money in the world, but you don't have the sense of responsibility that you need to share this with others. Not only money, but it could be anything. Any kind of skill you go, any talent you got. If you don't want to share that with others, then it won't stay with you for long, because Krishna only gives to those who share, because sharing is hearing. Hare Krishna. So thank you so much, Adi. So good to hear from you. And before we go any further, Jay, are you in India? What's the time now? It could be late. Jay's there somewhere, I guess. I'm sure Jay will play in a few minutes. Okay, I will wait to hear from you, Jay. Whenever you get available, feel free to ping me or just unmute yourself and say, because I was expecting a different Jay. And that's the reason I asked to bring the Kirtan. But when I heard you, I realized you are a different Jay, and maybe because it's a lockdown in India, you might have come home, because I remember you said that you're going to the hostel or boarding school. So, but great.
Yes, I'm in India.
Yes, I thought so. Thank you. So good to have you, Jay. I hope your study is going fine.
Yes.
Very well. Very nice. Thank you so much. You have our blessings. Good to have you here. Thank you, Jay. Right. Okay. So just to do a quick recap, and I won't take long. And that's the thing. What we do Narasimha Dev's Aarti and we do the chanting, but that takes some of our time. So for those who really want the knowledge, the time reduces a bit. But again, if you have the taste in Narasimha Dev's Aarti and the holy name, then it's much more than any knowledge. In the Shastras, in the Vedic wisdom, it says the knowledge, well, the bhakti is devotion. And it says devotion is the mother of jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. So if you have the devotion, you will get knowledge and renunciation. What is knowledge? Knowledge is the wisdom we need. And Krishna also says that I give you the knowledge. I give the knowledge to the devotees, right? And then what is renunciation? Renunciation is that feeling where you are happy to separate from whatever you have. So you don't attach with anything. You're using your mobile phone because you need to use it, but you're not attached to it. You're not one of those who say, oh, I want the latest and greatest model. Oh, I want this thing which looks much better than others. Of course, if you have a choice, you will go for it, but you don't crave for it because you know that's a material desire, right? The main thing is the mobile phone is a function, right? It's a functionary thing. It has a function, and that's the reason you use your mobile. And that's what devotees do. Devotees use things, all those things, in service of Krishna, right? They don't take pleasure in those things. You use those things in service of Krishna, and that's what devotees. That's what Vaishnavas are. You could put Krishna in everything. So you hear, you see, you think, and you do that. Hare Krishna. Right, okay. So in few minutes, Aryan is going to do a presentation. Aryan has put together something unique, I hope. If you haven't seen it, I didn't. So hopefully it will be unique. It will be intuitive, the way we say intuitive, where, well, I will let him share it. Once he will get onto his machine, he will share with us. But before that, because Jay has joined after a while, let me just remind what we have done so far. So, of course, we are doing the journey of self-discovery and we are going slow, so we understand everything. And we repeat ourselves again and again because we need the foundation. Remember, if the foundation is not complete and we start building first floor, second floor, then it doesn't really matter how tall the building gets. Building is going to collapse. Building is going to fall down. So that's the reason we spend a lot of time, lot of time in foundations. How? If you have a ground, you dig the ground and you lay down the foundation in it. So what you don't do, you just don't think, oh, it's a flat ground and then let's start building on top of it. No, you dig the ground, you go deep in the ground, and then you start building your foundation. And then you reach to the ground level and then you go high up. And that's what we are trying to do here is. So what we did, the very first thing, introduction. Then we did the higher inquiry where we said the happiness. We did mention about happiness, that everyone in this world is looking for happiness. If you think about living or non-living, movable or immovable. For example, well, of course, we know all of us looking for happiness. For example, if there is a dog outside and the rain will start, the dog will look for the shelter. Isn't it true? If you think about it, even the dog. Now think about the plants, the flowers. You might have heard of sunflower, right? Whichever direction the sun is, the flower will just move into that direction. And it's amazing. It's amazing. What we need is the observational skills. If we are there observing, then you can see each and everything in this world could relate to Krishna. It could. Why? Because we have seen in the next one, what is God? What is God? And then later on we saw who is God. So who is God? What is God? We did those two as well. Where we saw right at the end the difference between demigods and the God, the main God. And then why we say that that main God, the supreme personality of Godhead, is Krishna, because there are many scriptural references on it. And why we cannot trust our own senses, because our senses are imperfect. And that's how we think what we call Shabd. Well, there were three of them, but Shabd was one of them, hearing. So you don't know China is there, but you might have heard from someone and you say, okay, China is there. Or if someone will say it's raining outside, well, you don't know because you are sitting in your room, there's no window, you haven't opened the window, but you can hear and you know the person, you can trust the person, and you say, somebody else will come and ask you, I'm going outside. You will say, well, it's raining outside, be careful. And the person will say, well, you haven't moved out of your room, how do you know? And you can say, well, that person came to my room and he told me, or somebody called me and he told me. You trust those people and you take their words for granted. And this is what the Puranas, the Upanishads, the Vedas, they do. They give us the knowledge, and then based on that knowledge, we build up. Now, you might say, well, I don't want. Well, it's written in a document. How come? Well, because there is a lot of things written in those documents, those scriptures, years back, 5,000 years back, right? And many of those things have already been proven true. For example, one of the best things, if you think about it, is that when the baby is there in the tummy of mother, then at what stage, like 6 months later, 12 months later, 15, no, sorry, 12, 4 weeks, 12 weeks, 15 weeks later, how the baby develops, that's given in Bhagavatam, right? And the modern science only found out like 500 or 600 years back. So this was given there. Modern science is reaching to the same conclusion which has already been said. And there is nothing in the Shastras which has been proven wrong. So not everything in the Shastras have been proven right, because we are still working on it. But a lot of things have been proven right, and there isn't anything which has been proven wrong. So if you think about, there are three things. Let me repeat them again. None of the thing in the Purana. So there is a lot in the Puranas, or the Vedic wisdom, I say, where we have Vedas, we have Upanishad, and we have Puranas. There are many more things, but these are the main three ones, if you think. Then everything written there is not proven correct, because we are still working on it. But there is a lot which has been proven right, and then there is nothing so far which is there in the Shastras and we have proved it wrong. So this is a logical development, the way we start believing on things, or we start trusting on things, right? So we have seen the higher inquiry, that everybody would like to be happy. We have seen why there is a God. Is there a God? We have seen that. Who is that God? So again, based on that, we understand, yes, there got to be a God, because Big Bang could not happen, matter could not come from matter, and many other arguments we have seen, and we have gone through the logical way. And I have the presentations with you. If you don't, and you don't have it and you would like to, feel free to have a copy from me for your own reference, if in case you need. And then we said purpose of the creation. That's the one we are doing now. What is the purpose of creation? Okay, we understand Krishna is there, but why? Okay, so let me think about it, right? So now this is what we have covered, and this is what we are doing, creation. So okay, God is there, we understand, but why God created all that? And this is one of those questions you should think about it. Why? Because if you will go to the supermarket and you don't remember, why did you come there? If you go to school and you will just go to the field and you say, okay, let's play, well, you lost it. Why? Because you don't remember the purpose of coming to the school. Purpose of the school is to learn. By along with that, you play as well. But it's not other way around, that you play and in between you learn. You learn and in between you play, right? So whatever we do, wherever we are, we always need to remember why, right? And of course, we can do how as well. But why is the very first thing. Why are we doing it? Whatever we do, Krishna has created it. Why Krishna has created. This is what we're doing at the moment. And then the next one will be that Krishna has given, so by the end of it, we will understand in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given many different routes. And I will briefly mention like Karma Yoga, the actions we do. And then we have Jnana Yoga, the knowledge we take. Then we have Dhyana Yoga, the kind of meditations we do. Ashtanga Yoga is part of it, where we can, we do 8 limb yoga, and there's a presentation we will do on that. And then we have Bhakti Yoga, the devotion. These are the main prime ones. There are a few more subsidiaries, well, the secondary offshoots, but these are the main ones. And then right at the end, we will see the practical applications of Bhagavad Gita. That what's been written 5,000 years back between Krishna and Arjuna, the conversation, how we can utilize in our life on day-to-day basis. This is what we are doing. Okay, so before I continue, any questions from anyone, please? Okay, if not,
Babuji,
Haribol. Yes, please, Adi.
I don't have a question, but can we do a quiz?
Quiz? Sure, we will do a quiz. Okay, and for the quiz, I will request if Aryan will, so I'm going to request Aryan. Okay, I'm going to stop the sharing now. And I'm going to request Aryan to share his screen. Aryan, you should be able to share your screen now.
Yes.
Okay, great. So Aryan is going to do, Aryan, take your time. First explain us what it is. and then show us what it is, then explain us what it is. Right, sorry. So very first thing, just give a brief intro of what it is, then show us what it is, and then show and tell that how it works, and then write it, then summarize. If you use that structure, that will be great for us, yeah? Because not everyone would be aware of that. Some of us would see straight away and understand, others might not, okay? So what I will request again, that Aryan is going to take maybe 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes, and Ryan, every minute or two, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I will request you to pause for any questions anyone has it. And I will request everyone else to ask a lot of questions from Aryan, yeah? And feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Feel free to raise your virtual hand. Feel free to send a message in the chat. If you want me to read it, I'm happy to read it if you will send in the chat. Okay. So with that, Aryan, I will request you to share your screen. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Yes. So this is a Prabhupada map that's been created. On the left-hand side, at the bottom, there's the key. If I zoom in, that's the key.
All right. Sorry, Aryan, I would interrupt you here, please. Then did you use the word London Tube map? Because maybe we've been away from traveling for roughly a year or so now, and we might have forgotten. Would you like, or maybe somebody hasn't been to London yet? Because remember, like Tanmay is in Manchester, Jay is in India, Ishan is in Oxford, right? Adi is around somewhere nearby, I guess. And then obviously Devesh and Devika, they haven't joined, otherwise they are in the States. So if you would briefly mention about being London Tube, the context, that will help. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. So this is an example of the London Tube map, just involving things more related to Prabhupada and Krishna consciousness. So many of these lines, tubes, they've been copied from the London Tube map and then just been added Krishna conscious things like Krishna, Brahma. So on the left side, you can see the key. Red, lifeline, brown, deities, gray, incarnations, and so on. So let's take one of them. For example, let's take the deities. It starts at Krishna, then goes Radha, Jagannath, and so on. So this is all related to the key. So as blue is temples, these are all the temples that are famous around the world. And green, Parampara. It starts with Krishna and goes all the way down to Srila Prabhupada. Just like books. These are the books specifically that Prabhupada has created. And the pink, it is the courses that you could have. For example, this ISKCON Disciple course, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, and so on. So these are the lines that are taken from the London Tube map and added a bit of Prabhupada's as stations. So if we go for another one, like deities, let's take Prabhupada's lifeline, red. So he was born on the 1st of September in 1896. And sorry, one sec. Yeah, I got initiated in 1933. Started writing books in 1944. He got retired from his married life in 1950 and traveled to the West 15 years later. He founded ISKCON in 1966 and then departed the world in 1977. So does anyone have any questions about this that I could possibly answer?
I have one. you use the word
Yes.
parampara. Could you explain that, please?
Okay. So parampara is where the people start with gurus, like their teachers, and their teacher's teacher. For example, the first teacher was Krishna. Brahma was Krishna's disciple, and Narada was Brahma's disciple. And it keeps going down. So it's like disciple and guru. For example, if you come down here, Prabhupada Ji's guru was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he was the disciple. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the disciple of Srila Gaura Kishori Das Babaji Maharaj. And then it goes like that. The guru then turns into the teacher of their guru. Yeah. So it's
Thank you very much. And another question is, what's the use of this map, please?
this map is to connect more with Prabhupada Ji, and it is to simplify everything in one term. So you can easily see what the parampara is, to be more knowledgeable about the temples, to know the books of Prabhupada Ji, so to be encouraged by them. And all of this is just to be more engrossed in Prabhupada Ji and Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Arun, now I've put together a quick quiz. And in the quiz, the questions are like what green color is going to represent, what red is going to represent, what magenta is going to represent, what blue is going to represent. Could you just phrase yourself a bit more so everyone here would remember that at least what color represents what? And then if you try to take some feedback from the audience, that would be really helpful, please.
Okay. So red is the lifeline of Prabhupada Ji when he was born and when he died. Is the first one, and it's red. Deities is brown, and it's the deities that, like, for example, Sita, Hanuman, Krishna, Radhaji. They're the deities, or considered as. Incarnations, they're gray, just like Purushottama, Vamana, Rama, Krishna. That's what you mean by incarnations. Green, as I explained before, it is guru and disciple. So you can remember that as green. Maybe green for guru. Black is for books. Same thing, alliteration. Black books. They're similar. Pink are the courses. You can remember, let's say, Bhakti Shastri. You could remember that as pink. Blue, daily sadhana, the artis, specifically the artis that you have. They're blue. Sometimes also considered as daily sadhana. And cyan, light blue, as temples. You can remember them as temples around the world. And world is related to blue. So any feedback on the key? Any way I could improve it?
I think you made everyone sleep. Or maybe before I hand it over to you, I made everyone sleep. Adi, just because I can see you, did you get anything out of it? Do you think it's a good idea, or do you think we can do better? Did you get anything in terms of where you say, okay, I have learned something new here. Anything. Okay, are these thinking? Are these thinking hard? Okay, tell you what, Aryan, if you could please explain a bit about daily sadhana. That will be really helpful. Maybe if you want to read the daily sadhana a bit, that will help. That what do we do in daily sadhana? And meanwhile, I've just finished, so I will launch the poll. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So daily sadhana, just like the artis, it starts with Shayan Arti. Then it goes to Bhagavad Gita class, Sadhana Arti, Dhupa Arti, Rajbhog Arti, Srimad Bhagavatam class. So these are classes, artis, pujas, all of them mixed together that we have nearly every day. For example, this is a Bhagavad Gita one. Similar, we're getting references from it. Guru Puja, so to the Guru. Darshanarti, Tulasi Arti, and Mangla Arti. Mangla Arti is the one that you do around 4 a.m. in the morning. This is one of the most earliest artis that you do in the day, if you were to do it.
Great.
Okay, back to you.
Thank you so much, Aryan. And I think it's good because we have used, and you could have your screen shared so everyone can have it. Thank you. And because now we are going to do the quiz. So in this presentation, if you see, a lot of research has gone through. This is all the way we do the, if somehow you need to remember something, then this is how you do it. You kind of picturize it and then you remember it all. And you do it in the meaningful way. For example, a lot of people who travels through London, they all know that in London, the London Tube map is very important. They have it either in the hard copy, they have it either in their mobile, or they just remember because they've been there in and out so many times, right? And when we do it, we know that things go from east to west, north to south. We know that the stations, they come one after another. Similarly, like what Aryan said, daily sadhana. So we do the first one, then the second one, then the third one we do in the morning and afternoon, and so on. And from Srila Prabhupadaji, the whole life was there in it. All right, okay. If you heard it right, then I'm going to launch the poll, which should be on your screen now. And there are 7 questions. I will give you a few minutes and let's see. This is going to show us, obviously, this is based on the request from Adi. I know we all love it. And Ishan did mention in past that would love to have the Kahoot quiz as well, which show we will work on. But quiz was much easier. So while Aryan was presenting, I put together the quiz very quickly. So Aryan is still sharing. So if you could see the quiz, then if you want, you can see the answers from the screen itself, which means you might get 100%.
Prabhuji, I cannot see it.
You cannot? Adi, could you see the screen? The screen Aryan is sharing.
Yeah, but now it's not there.
Oh, now it's not there. Adi, it should be there somewhere. Maybe what happened when...
Okay, I'm gonna close it.
Okay,
And okay, now I can see it. When I close it, it starts.
okay, good. So everyone should be able to see it. Okay, so someone has just filled in, which is great.
Prabhuji,
Yes, please.
what do Magnata color? What's Magna color?
Magenta.
It's a type of color.
That's the third from the bottom. Courses. That's a bit pinkish.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I could have said pink because there is no pink. There's only red which is nearest to it. I could have said that.
Prabhuji,
Yes, please, Jai.
like in one question it's written, what does blue represent? Like, so we have to tell about the light blue or the dark blue because there are two blues there.
Good question. Yeah. And let me see which one it is. Okay, sixth question. Okay, tell you what, because some of the devotees, they have already answered it. I will say either of those, either light blue or dark blue. That's it. Yeah, great. And sorry, somebody else wanted to say, Shivani, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was just saying that I forgot what I was saying.
No problem. When it will come back to your memory, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we all got it. Isn't that true? I think we all got it. Now I'm going to end the poll first. Now I'm going to share the results. And Aryan, may I request you to check the answers for all of them? Because it's your presentation, you should know better than me, I would say, that if the answers are correct or not, even though I put it together.
Prabhuji,
Yes, please, Shivani.
in the poll results, which color is correct?
Okay, Aryan?
Yep.
Okay, Aryan will confirm it, Shivani. Okay, I'm going to put myself.
So the inspiration did come from the London Tube map. Green represents Parampara, as here where my cursor is. Red represents the lifeline of Prabhupada. It's the first one from the top. Books is the one going straight down the middle and also black. The color represented by magenta is courses, as there aren't any other colors that might. Blue, which we said that it was either daily sadhana or temples, because both of them are blue. 5 people got that correct, so it's temples and daily sadhanas. Gray represents incarnations, which is the third one from the top. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Aryan. So, thank you, Adi. Adi says I got it all right. Fantastic. So I hope the good thing is everyone did it, because we should, if you are listening, we should have either the questions or we should have some feedback. So always ready with either the questions, or so either you would say, okay, I didn't get that part. Could you clarify this? Or you say, well, you did it so well that everything was so clear, right? So one of those you should have. So being in the audience is a very responsible job. So always remember that. Great. Thank you so much, Aryan. And because we have 5 minutes left, we will not go to the presentation, but I'm going to tell you one analogy and one quick story. Okay. And then also I will request you to Wow, I can see Krishna Chaitanya now. Oh, thank you, Aaron. That next time, if any one of you heard of any nice devotional story, then
Prabhuji, I can't hear you.
okay. Sorry, Krishna Chaitanya, I could hear you, but I
I
could not
can't
hear
hear
you.
you.
Oh, you can't hear me. Well, you should be able to hear me. Anyone else?
Now I am. You were frozen. You were frozen that time.
Ah, okay. I was frozen. Okay, great. I'm glad I'm back now.
Prabhuji,
Yes, please.
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you. Can you add the time, please? Okay, great. So, okay, 1 minute is gone, 4 minutes left. Let me quickly tell you the analogy first. What is analogy? Analogy is when we give the example of something to understand something else. Now, who would like to tell me that what's the difference between
Prabhuji, someone just left.
someone just left? Aaron has just left for some reason.
Prabhuji,
Yes, please.
can you add on the time?
Adi said it. You did say, can you add the time, please? So sorry, Adi, I didn't get it. What kind of time?
The time for the meeting.
Oh, yes. Are you happy with this time? Because I think you are one of them who could not make it earlier, but you could make it this time because you have something else going on between 5 and 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And some others, they had the same thing, but I think I will check because one of the Matajis, she asked, so maybe her kids could not join, so I will check with her. But it's getting to that point that
I don't mean that. I meant, can you last this meeting for a longer time?
Oh, longer time. Thank you so much. Sure. So maybe today, let's have 5 more minutes. Okay. The thing is, whatever time we will go for, we need to decide, and because we ask for the commitment from everyone. So that's the reason we always start on time, we end on time, because so others could make the arrangements, anything they want to do before or after, but that time they always book it for the spiritual timing. The timing is very important. Okay, great. Let's go for it. The very first thing, who knows the difference between housefly and honeybee? Housefly.
I think I know.
Okay, let's go with Adi and then I will come to Shivani. Shivani, raise her hand. Yes,
A
please.
fly doesn't bite and a honeybee stings.
Very nice. Yes, that's one of the differences. I believe so. Yes, thank you, Adi. Shivani, would you like to add?
Prabhuji,
Yes, please, Krishna Chaitanya.
when I put my camera on for a second, why are you like, oh, I can see Krishna Chaitanya?
Oh, right. Okay. Because I could not see you. Well, I didn't realize whether you had just put your camera on. Actually, Aryan was sharing the screen, so the focus was there. And then as soon as Aryan unshared, I could see your face. So I wasn't sure whether you just put the camera on or not. But we didn't see you for a while, so maybe that's why I just got so excited looking at you. Krishna Chaitanya, thank you so much. So Adi gave one difference, which was good. Shivani, would you like to give another difference between housefly and honeybee, please?
Okay, so both of them are different creatures and their purposes are different. So I'm not sure what a I'm not sure what a housefly does, but I know what a honeybee does. It collects honey. So basically, their first difference is that they're both different creatures. They're not. I think I know what a housefly does, Prabhuji. I'm not sure though. I think I do.
Sure. Let Shivani finish, and then I will come to you. Thank you.
Okay, so the first difference is that that they're both different insects, and the second thing is that they both have different purposes. They don't do the same thing.
Okay, great. Thank you, Shivani. That's really good to hear. Krishna Chaitanya, yes, please go on.
I think houseflies just fly in your house, and if like they see any sugar, they normally just eat it, and then they like sit on stuff and put germs on. That's what.
I'm not sure though.
Okay, no, that's true. That's very, very true. Now, let me give you one difference, and hopefully you remember this. And remember, feel free to ask this question from your parents if they are not already listening, because if they are listening, they would know the answer. But if they are not listening, then you can ask them, and it's going to be, always remember this. Maybe throughout your life, if you remember and implement this will help you big time. The housefly, if you have a lot of flowers, a lot of flowers, a lot of good things, and then in between, if you have dirty bit, you know, for example, you bought 6 oranges from the market, and one of the oranges is dirty. It's very bad. It's off. The smell is coming out, foul smell, dirty smell. Then the housefly will not go to the clean oranges, or it will not go to the flowers or the clean stuff. Housefly will find its own way to the dirty thing. On the contrary, doesn't really matter how much. Yes, Shivani, please.
Prabhuji, what does foul mean?
Foul is that smell which is very nasty. You don't want that. That's what we call foul. F-O-W-L. Yeah, thank you. Yes, please, Krishna Chaitanya.
Once, about in December or something, not December, September or something, there used to be thousands of flies in my kitchen and stuff. And I had to get a plate and something to cover, and I used to just keep on catching them for an hour because I was bored.
All right. Thanks for sharing. So that's what housefly is. Among all the good things, housefly will always find something bad and only go to the bad. On the contrary, in comparison, you have the honeybee. Honeybee will always, doesn't really matter how dirty your garden is, honeybee will find its way to the flower and take the nectar out of it. Take the nectar out of it. So this is what devotees do. So you have two kind of people. One who doesn't really matter how good and positive things are, that person will always look for the negative thing, because that person is like housefly, looking for the negative thing, looking for the dirty thing. But honeybee, if you're a honeybee, then doesn't really matter how many bad things are going on, you will always be focused on Krishna, will always be looking for the positive things. Remember this in your life, that it's your own attitude which gives you the positive or negative. Okay, you need to be honeybee rather than housefly. Okay, so you are Vaishnavas, you are devotees, that's what you need to be. And the second thing, because I have 1 more minute, as I said, 5 past today, based on the demand by Adi. So I will give you a quick, and it could be a funny story if you get it. Then there was a devotee, and there was a very old businessman, and he did not want to leave his business because he was so material attached. And his son said to the devotee that my dad is old, but he's still so much into business and money. Please take him with you and take him. He needs to get the love for Krishna. And I will complete that. But Tanmay, you got your virtual hand up. Would you like to say anything, please?
Prabhuji, for all the previous meetings that I've missed, is there any link to them so I can see what we covered it?
Sure. Though they all are there, and I will share the link with you so you can watch them. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you for that, Tanmay. I will share the link in the group so everyone will get it. So remember, there are 3 characters in this. I'm sorry I'm over today, but it's really good story. Hope you will get it and you will love that. So there is a devotee, and there is a son, and there's a father. So the son is saying to the devotee that I've taken care of the business, and take my father who is very old. He needs to take the name of Krishna, but he's old. He's so attached to the business. He only thinks about money. But he should think about Krishna, God, spirituality, religions. So this devotee said, okay, I will take your father to a journey with me. And then they went around to different temples. But this old father was still thinking about the business and all. But then at the end, they went to Gaya. Another name for that place is Kashi. Another name is Prayag. No, sorry, Gaya is different place. Kashi and Prayag. And there is another one. There is another third name which is not coming into my mind at the moment. But Kashi, well, Banaras, Kashi. Now, there is one particular place where when the people die, they burn the bodies there. Yes, please, Shivani.
Prabhuji, you know all the places you're saying?
Yes.
Yes. Are they in Delhi or India?
They all are in India. Yes, yeah. Sorry, I confused a bit. Just take one name because while I was thinking and I was saying, then I mentioned a lot of names. Let's just take one name, Kashi. Okay? In Kashi is a place in India. Yes, please. Who said it? Adi. Okay, while Adi thinking about it, let me
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so let me quickly finish this story. I'm just right at the end of it. That at the end they reached to Kashi, and at Kashi the old father started crying, and the devotee thought, Hari Bol. So this father really got the self-realization. He's really crying because he realized at the end of the life people die and their body burns. So he understand now. And he said, well, please share your feelings with me. Yes, please.
You say they burn it. Do they burn it in the microwave or anything, or oven?
They burn on they have this special wood. They put the body on wood and they burn the wood, and the fire from the wood burns the body. Okay. So what happens then when the devotee asked the father? Father said that, well, yes, the reason I'm crying is because I've done so many businesses in my life. But if I knew that the wood is used so much while burning the body, I could have done that business as well. I would have done that business. I would have made much, much, much more money out of it. And then devotee said, Hari Bol, this guy never learns, because he really thought that old father got the self-realization, but no, because he was looking only for money, he only could think of money. So he was not honeybee, he was housefly. Okay, with that, my apologies, overran a bit today, but thank you so much for your association. Looking forward next week, next Sunday, 6 p.m. If you can think of any stories, any spiritual stories where you can say at the end there is something to learn, moral story, feel free to share with us. Okay, look forward.
I do, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Chaitanya. Look forward to hear from you
Prabhuji.
next time, Sunday. So,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
I know another one. I
Another
know
one.
Hare Krishna,
Next
Prabhuji.
time. Adi, next time, please. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Hare Krishna, everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Bye.